I am not sure if you have seen or heard the interview of Harry Campbell, the rideshare guy that I have the uttermost respect for, is one of my top go-to guys for rideshare. He's the creme de la creme in the business, and he often gets really interesting people on his show. Now, a guy that I have no time for, Andrew McDonald, Senior Vice President for Uber's operations, was interviewed by Harry. Harry asked him some tough questions, right, and was really trying to zone in on the driver. Andrew McDonald, you can see he's a youngster. He's not a veteran yet. You can see it in his body language. He didn't handle those questions very well. In fact, in one question, you will see he went back with his body and then came forward, right? Like, whoa, that took me, and then now I'm ready to fight because I have an answer, right? So he's not a cool, calm, and collected guy. To me, he seems like a little bit of a hothead, right? And there is a touch of arrogance in his voice. He's definitely, you can see if you listen to his answers, he favors the rider. He doesn't give the driver much of a chance, much time here. And Harry cleverly zoned in on the driver and asked some really, really tough questions. And I wasn't happy with his answers. I really wasn't, right? When Harry asked him, for example, where does he get the driver feedback from? He started getting rather, Andrew started getting rather irritated with those driver questions, right? You could see his body was moving around. He's getting a little bit restless. As I said, at one point he went back and he came forward. And when I listened to his answers, right, they were pathetic. So he says, well, we get a lot of feedback from the customer service. Listen, fool, your customer service doesn't work. We don't even use it. We so completely have lost respect for your customer service because there are people overseas in Manila that are paid to read a script, autoresponder, right? You can write to them all day long. You just get auto cut and paste responses, right? And that's where you get your feedback from. Right, that's where he goes and taps into feedback. They say, well, some weekly or daily they interact with the customer service. Well, don't have hubs at the moment, so they're not really getting much feedback there, right? And it's just, I don't know. It's all rider with Andrew McDonald, and he really gets agitated if you ask him questions about the driver. And to me, he's a little amateur. He's too young. He's all over the fucking show. Excuse me. I shouldn't say that, but that's how I feel about this kid. Now, when he was trying to give an answer about these masks, right, you must understand this is the fool that implemented this new strategy on May the 18th, that only the driver would be photographed and ID'd, right? And you automatically know if you don't do the same procedure for the driver and the rider, they should have ID'd the rider with the mask on. We already said it, right? And this is the point that these guys cannot think through. They come up with these marvelous ideas and they have these little brainstorming sessions, right? But in practice, this guy is not out there in the vehicle. He does not know what's going on ground zero, right? And he puts in place a system that is terrible. You have to check and ID both sides. Why only subject the driver to the IDing process, right? And then the rider can trick you, fool you, did not know, I wasn't aware of that, I wasn't told. You have to have strict laws when you're checking in to meet the compliance. And this is the part that these guys ignore or do it on purpose because they don't want to alienate their riders. And, if you want some real feedback, jump around in the YouTube channels. Go to Harry's channel, go to my channel, go to Dustin's channel. Read what real drivers say, right? Instead of, getting a report from customer service, let's say from Manila, from some manager over there that's sending you a daily report of all the stuff that's come in, right? All the messages that have come in. We've lost interest with customer service. That 1-800 number doesn't work. Right, it just keeps you in the hamster wheel, and it's terrible. So if that's where you're getting your feedback from, you better wake up and smell the coffee, and either get on the road and jump into cars and interview real drivers, right? Which he will be too shit scared to do because during the pandemic, he's sending everyone to the front lines, but he himself is here working from home, just talking the smack, right? So if you want real feedback, you got to get on the street, or you got to get into these chat rooms or group chats or Facebook and read what the people post, right? Not make a call, say, hey, send me the report from the Philippines. Hey, let me check out what's going on today. So I think he is so out of tune with his company. He's not dialed in. He seems very amateurish, arrogant, his facial expressions, his body language. The guy's not the real deal, man. Needs a nice, good slap out. Pack your bags and leave. We need a competent person. Now, Harry, good job for asking the tough questions. And, I had to make a video on this because I know there are things that Harry wants to say. And he's asking the questions and he's giving this guy the wiggle room to wiggle out or do his little song and dance, right? I would have been far tougher and gone in and put the guy in a bit of a chokehold and say, answer that, right? That's not acceptable, or what you did there was not right. Maybe that's why they're too scared to come onto this show. They haven't reached out to me because they know how I feel about them. Anyways, your feedback is welcome. Do leave your comments. I'll leave the link. It's worthwhile checking this out. You'll learn a lot about this fool. Have a great day.